From behind the alley, welcome everyone. We are Studio Ellie. I gotta work on that. I always have something different. And
how can you be behind an alley? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We're behind the alley. I should have said behind the studio, not the.
Yeah. This is the guy behind the guy.
Yeah, the guy behind it. Yeah. Behind every alley is another alley. That's
of a studio.
Yeah. So welcome newcomers and people who continually frequent. We need to come up with a name. What should we call people who come to our alley? The bums, right?
The bums.
The movie bums.
Studio alley bums.
Yeah, that sounds kind of cool. The studio alley bums. That sounds kind of cool, actually.
All right.
Oh, look at that. On the moment thinking.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's good.
Welcome back, Studio alley bums and newcomers.
You gotta say it like the guy in Rocky.
Yeah. Welcome back to Studio alley, bums. Studio alley, where what we do here is we step outside the studio and we give our honest opinions, often hilarious, sometimes hurtful, but honest opinions. Because we see movies not just for us, but for you, but mostly we see them for us.
That's true.
And then we give you your opinions. So, welcome. I'm John. With me today is...
It's David.
Yes, just the two of us today. What we do at Studio Alley is, like I said, we review movies, occasionally series, on the streaming channels, like the Netflix, the Hulus, the... Voodoos, yeah. Movies on the streaming, and we talk movies. So yes,
let's talk the movies.
But David? What makes us different than other video movie review podcasts?
Height, I think.
Yeah, I'm kind of short. Yeah,
But
we're brothers.
Ah,
that's one thing. We're brothers, and let's be honest, we're movie fans. I like to think of it. I like to call ourselves, and it sounds demeaning, but it's not. I'm proud of it. I like to consider us the blue collar movie.
I literally wear a blue collar to work.
I like to call us that because we're not the guys who like necessarily have the documentation that says, hey, we're smart enough to analyze movies and directors and blah blah blah. We go because, let's be honest, people go to the movie theater to be entertained, in some fashion or another. Either we want to cry. I mean, let's be honest. The one thing I really love about movies, and this is what I want to talk about too, is one thing, people go to the theater to escape. That's the truth. Whether you want to cry, whether you want to laugh at good written humor or just the stupid comedy, or you just want to see a good story, or you go escape into sci-fi, that's what entertainment is all about. So we're average guys who go to the theater. We know what you want to see, because we usually want to see it too. Now, we do go see the high-class Oscar-nominated stuff,
Yep.
But, we go with a certain attitude when we see those movies. We're kind of like, we'll see it. Yeah, but it isn't like our first rushes.
I'll admit, like I like the art house movies, but if it's an art house movie that I think is bad, I'll still say it's a bad art house movie.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people will still say like, oh well, I know this movie's smart and it's smarter than me, so I'm gonna give it a good review because clearly it's good right now.
Yeah, people just say I didn't understand it, so it's amazing. Yeah.
Sorry, the Revenant's not good.
Yeah.
I've kind of confirmed in my head. I'm like, that's not.
Yeah.
Which I found out. My girlfriend's first date ever.
Right.
The guy took her to see The Revenant.
Oh, that's a good date movie.
Nothing's more romantic than watching Leonardo DiCaprio mauled by a bear.
Right. Maybe he was trying to say something though. He's like, Leonardo DiCaprio isn't that good looking. Look at him. Ha ha. Yeah.
If you turn me down, this is what happens.
I will maul you like a bear.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds terrible.
So romantic.
Yeah. So I don't know. So I agree with you. There's too many times where people defend something when it's bad. Like, I don't know, off the top of my head, like, I don't know, Superman Batman wasn't that bad. You hear that a lot.
If it's bad, it's bad.
It's just call it out. It doesn't mean you still can't be a fan of the characters or the writers. Or it just means that happened to be a bad film. And
I know after I saw that movie, I burned every comic book I owned.
I know. And you had the first issue of Batman.
I know.
But it had to go.
My ass with issue number 1 of Action Comics.
Yep. I think I swallowed my Action Comics number 1. I think I swallowed it and pooped it out later.
That's how bad that movie was.
No, we don't do that. Because it's okay to be fans of the thing.
It's okay not to like something.
Yeah, it's just be honest. Just be like, dude, they screwed it up. It's fine, I'm just saying, be honest. That's what we do.
Be honest with yourself and to others.
But speaking of comic book movies,
yes,
let's talk about a movie that has nothing to do with comic books. But it stars a guy who's in a comic book movie. Directed by a guy who directed 2 comic book movies.
Oh, really? Now, who is that? The film we are talking about this week is Gifted.
Right. Now, this is a movie I actually really wanted to see.
This is also the movie that your mom probably saw a trailer of and was like, "Oh, we should go see that together." Your mom's British, apparently.
Okay, apparently.
Yeah. Because that's what it kind of looks like. It looks like a really good
Did you
movie.
see it with your mom?
I did not.
Oh.
No. I saw it on a date.
I thought you were saying...
Yeah,
yeah. Wait, because it almost sounds like you're saying that your date was kind of like your mom. Like,
you don't know what I'm into.
Sorry.
No.
Alright, so, Gifted.
Gifted.
I'm glad you saw it because I really want to see it.
When I saw the trailer, I was really excited for it. And mainly the reason it piqued my interest is I do like Chris Evans as an actor.
I do too. I actually do.
And the premise is really interesting to me too. It's a film I want to check out.
Right. Can I just interject? Like you said though,
interject.
I like Chris Evans too, and I really want him to do other things too.
Other than Captain America.
Yeah, because unfortunately he's been around for a while.
Yeah,
he really has, but he hasn't really got any kind of stardom until he stepped into the tights. And now it's like, now everybody knows who he is. But he's been around for a while,
Yeah.
And he's done some pretty range stuff.
Oh yeah.
I mean, not high. I mean, he's done a lot of stupid comedies.
Like I think Sunshine was probably the first movie that people were like, "Oh, this guy's really good, actually." Right. And I think a lot of times people don't want to give him the chance. And honestly, I was shocked when he was cast as Captain America because Captain America is kind of such a good, noble, pure of heart, not a funny character.
Right.
And Chris Evans had a reputation of being the funny young guy.
Yeah. I'll be honest, the first time I saw Chris Evans outside of Captain America, I mean, after he became Captain America, and that's who I associated him with. Because I've seen him before in other things. Like, I've seen him in Not Another Teen Movie.
Yeah,
which I thought he was really good in it for stupid comedy.
As a stupid comedy. Right. He's still funny.
He's still pretty good, yeah. And then he did Captain America, and then I got so used to seeing it, thinking of him as Captain America, I think the first thing I saw after that was Snowpiercer.
That's right.
And I wasn't really a fan of Snowpiercer, but I really liked him in it because he looks different. He's got dark with a beard, and he looks
because he's a brunette in real life.
Right. So when I saw Snowpiercer, I was like, "See, the guy can act. He really can." So all right. Yeah. So what is Gifted about?
Well, it's also directed by Marc Webb. That's the main reason I was actually interested. Marc Webb directed my favorite film ever, 500 Days of Summer. Then he went on and directed Amazing Spider-Man 1, and then the very controversial, everyone absolutely loathes Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I think is still good, but people just really hate it.
Just for the injection, in case people heard, because maybe we'll talk about it before, but in case people are wondering, yes, both of us, I think we both agree, we both enjoyed the Amazing Spider-Man series with Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
Right?
I
agree
really
that part 2, I think Jamie Foxx was terrible.
I think he is terrible.
And I think it was a bad direction to go in, too, with Electro.
I feel like the studio... I'm okay with them using Electro, but
yeah, I agree.
The Jamie Foxx casting is really terrible.
Yeah.
And they tried to do a lot of stuff in that second one, and they stumbled. But the stuff they got right, I thought they got really right. And it's a shame.
So, okay, so let's lay that out. So right off the bat, we can say, okay,
so I like Marc Webb.
Yes, I like.
But I want him to do stuff more like this, like more indie stuff.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Just to get more of the format, more of the stuff laid down, the groundwork.
Lay it.
How did you like 500 Days of Summer?
Oh, I just said it's my favorite movie ever.
Okay. I just wanted to reiterate in case somebody missed it. So, all right.
I'm such a dork. I draw fan artwork from that movie.
Really?
It's in my room, yeah. All the drawings that Tom draws, I recreate them, and they're my best.
Yeah, I too thoroughly enjoyed 500 Days of Summer, but I think it's such a depressing movie that I can only watch it once in a while.
Oh, it's so hopeful. It's so hopeful.
So, really?
Yeah.
I mean, it really shows what it's like.
Oh, it's a very mature look, and I think people get. There has been a little bit of a backlash against 500 Days of Summer that's saying that it's kind of sexist.
Right.
It's not, mainly because they're showing that the person that's wrong in the relationship is actually Tom, the main character.
Yeah, well, if you pay attention to that movie, she tells him straight out.
Yeah.
She doesn't...
And he wants to control her. And
yeah, she doesn't hide nothing. She comes right out.
And I think a lot of guys do kind of walk away going, see, girls are terrible. I'm like, that's not really the message. The message was Tom needs to acknowledge the other person that he's in a relationship with and not control them and
some people just can't be together. You fall in love with somebody but doesn't,
and you got to respect their wishes and exactly, and he tried to force her into a relationship
and sadly what they may tell you might not be true when they meet somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, that's what sucks.
Yeah.
You wish you were the guy,
yeah.
and sometimes
just not. Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes you're Tom, sometimes you're Summer in a relationship.
Right, exactly.
And
sometimes you're just Fall.
Exactly.
Right.
Sometimes
anyway.
you're just his friend who's just single all the time.
Right, yeah. So anyway.
But yeah, so Gifted tells a story of... Do you have the characters list names?
I do. Frank Adler?
That's right. Frank. Tells the story of Frank, who is played by Chris Evans, Captain America Evans,
right.
Who is raising his niece, his sister's daughter, Mary. And his sister, very, very early on in the movie, you find out that Frank's sister, younger sister, committed suicide.
Oh, really?
And
Harsh.
she left, and keep in mind she killed herself, and she didn't leave like a will explaining where her daughter Mary should live with or anything like that. Right. She just died, and Frank started taking care of her, okay. And then he took her and moved her to Florida, where they're living pretty low class life. He fixes boats for a living. And I think they have like kind of like the mobile home kind of apartment. Like it's not a mobile home, but it's like it's an apartment, like a on the ground apartment that's like they look like little houses, but they're really really tiny houses. Apartment complex, kind of like that. If you live in Florida, you know what that looks like.
Are they considered blue collar? They're considered middle class, or are they poor?
I would say they're probably poor.
Oh, really? Okay.
I would say they're not awful. Like she's not hungry or anything like that. But they are in a lower class area. Okay. He doesn't have an actual babysitter. He has his neighbor watches her a lot of times. Okay. And usually the way they describe it in the movie is she watches him watches Mary every Friday night. Okay. So Frank can be a young single guy. Okay. And his neighbor is played by Octavia Spencer.
I always thought she was a good actress.
Always.
But the past couple of years, she's been amazing.
Oh yeah,
she's been very smart about her choices, and she's been really good. So.
And so Mary seems at the start of the movie, she seems like a pretty normal girl. She's fighting her uncle Frank that she doesn't want to start school. He's enrolled her in public school. He was homeschooled her until then. But he's like, well, it's time you gotta start making friends. You gotta start. That's kind of what he keeps pushing is you gotta interact with other people. You gotta be involved with other people and stuff like that. And she goes to school immediately, and she automatically starts showing off that this girl isn't just smart; she's at genius levels. And the principal and the teacher, I think it's first grade or second grade. Her first or second grade teacher, Bonnie, contacts him, and she's like, your daughter is brilliant. And he's like, well, she's not my daughter, she's my niece, but she's not brilliant. I taught her how to memorize multiplication is really simple. So he was able to, and he showed like the formula and how you do it. You're able to calculate algorithms in your head really simply. Okay. It's just he just homeschooled her, and that's why she's able to do it really quick. She's not brilliant. She's not gifted.
That's what he says.
That's what he tells her.
Okay.
Which makes you go, first off, the algorithm formula he tells her, nobody knows this.
Right.
So for him to pull that out of his ass out of nowhere says something about Frank.
Right.
And he's lying his ass off. Right. This girl is at genius levels, and Frank is also hiding something too. And through the course of the film, you realize, yeah, she's genius. The teacher, the principal, notices like, oh my god, this girl's capable of doing so much more, and then contacts Frank's mother, who is British and is very very controlling, and you quickly learn that Frank and his sister, their mother was a brilliant mathematician in the college years, and she, instead of pursuing a career in math, she got pregnant and then became a mother. And then she pushed Frank's sister to the limits in pursuing a career in math because she too was gifted and smart, into trying to solve one of the I can't remember what the exact term was. It's one of the Navier-Stokes problem, the Millennium Prize problem. It's like a couple of mathematical problems that are almost impossible to prove. And she was one of the people that was pursuing the daughter. Was pursuing means of actually solving that problem. And if you solve that problem, you're one of the most brilliant people on the planet, blah, blah, blah. Right. You'll be memorized, there'll be monuments built to you at MIT and stuff like that. And before she could ever do that, she killed herself and had Mary and then Frank ended up taking. And Frank blames himself for throughout the whole movie. He blames himself for his sister's death.
Right.
Is that if he listened to the cry for help from his sister, she would still be around to take care of Mary. And there's this weird Frank's clearly a very good dad, and he's also very intelligent as well. But you could also tell he's a guilt-ridden guy. He also at times doesn't feel like he wants to be a father. This kind of situation got thrusted upon him. And then the court case battles. The mom wants to take Mary and have her raised like how her mother was raised, and homeschooling and constantly working on mathematics, following her mother's footsteps and solving the equation. And she thinks that the way Frank is raising her is incorrect and not important. Well, Frank thinks
she's having no more life.
Just like his sister, she won't have life and friends, and then she'll end up killing herself in the end.
Okay. So, needless to say, this is pretty much a drama movie.
Oh, it's a drama, but it's lighthearted at
Okay.
It is a tearjerker, I would emphasize a lot. And then they bring up a lot of stuff, and they do a great job of nobody's really a bad guy initially. Like the mother, Evelyn, does some sketchy stuff later in the film, and you're like, God damn, you are awful.
Right.
But you could tell she's a human person. She's a very real character, and a lot of parents. Everyone knows parents that are like this, and maybe almost all parents are like this. But a lot of parents live through their children, and want them to accomplish the things that they weren't able to accomplish because they had children. So you see that she wanted to pursue a career in mathematics, but she had kids, so she pushed those dreams onto her children, and they were supposed to carry it.
Okay.
So there's also a little bit of a romance going on between Bonnie, the grade school teacher, and Frank.
Okay.
Also, there's another important character in this film that I have not talked about is Fred. And Fred is a one-eyed cat that Mary owns.
Okay.
He was an alley cat that Mary adopted, and Frank doesn't really like him, but Mary loves that cat to death, and that cat actually ends up becoming a pretty major plot point in the film.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you like any smash cuts to one-eyed cats looking at you when it's something happens, it's there's a lot of that, and right. I'm a sucker for cat stuff, so gotta love cats.
All right, so overall, how was the writing in this? I mean, when it's all put together, how was overall the writing?
I compare this to another film I really like, Kramer vs. Kramer, where you feel there's no real villain, and it feels very real. It's Kramer vs. Kramer plus Good Will Hunting. Okay. Kind of, lower class, brilliant person, mathematic genius. But it's what works is the characters. This is pretty paint by numbers, almost like a Lifetime movie. Okay. You can kind of see where this is going. But it's really what the characters work. Like Frank being his backstory, once you know about his character, a little bit more about his past, knowing about Evelyn and how she wanted to pursue mathematics, but being a mother kind of got in the way. You learn more and more about Mary's mother and why she committed suicide. You learn more about Mary's father and stuff like that, and how that plays a role. And it's everyone. Every character is flawed, and they all think they're trying to do the best thing for this kid, but they're also kind of doing it in selfish means a little bit. You feel like Frank is also kind of wants to take care of Mary because he feels so guilty for his sister's death, and you don't know if is it because he really thinks he can give the better home to Mary, or do you think it's just he feels like that's his responsibility? And then there's Bonnie, who's just kind of involved, but also doesn't want to be involved, and same thing with Octavia Spencer's character, the neighbor, who loves taking care of Mary, but she has no say at this at all. Right. It's not her kid; she's not related to it at all. So
I just want to point out that the writer, though, you're saying it's written really good.
Yeah,
he has not really written anything else. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's only written a TV movie, teleplay, and one film, and that's it. So this is
kind of his first finally got
major thing. Yeah, so that's pretty impressive. It's Tom Flynn as the writer. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Also, okay, so with knowing how Marc Webb is as director, how are the shots? First of all, the directing of it.
I think this is very. I would say this is less visually interesting than 500 Days of Summer, which was his indie film, his first movie.
Right.
But what I really like about Marc Webb a lot is his use of music.
Yeah.
Is especially 500 Days of Summer. The music is freaking great.
Right.
And then in the friggin' Amazing Spider-Man series, he also incorporated music a lot. I really love the use of Philip Phillips' "Gone, Gone, Gone." If you remember that sequence in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, when he's putting up the the board, trying to connect his parents.
Oh yeah.
His use of songs ruins that song for me because I can't not think of that song or hear that song and not think of the movie.
Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing, though.
No, it's not. He puts a claim on it. Tarantino does the same thing.
Right. Well, one of the things I always believe in, too, when you watch a movie is a lot of times music, the right song can really make a scene amazing.
Yeah.
It really can. If you do it right, that scene stands out now.
Yeah.
Because that song, because it adds emotion, it adds, everything down. So, yeah.
And keep in mind, this is very much a courtroom drama, so that you don't have as much visual flair in this film. And obviously, even though Captain America's in this, he's not Captain American about. But it is still visually interesting the way he shoots. There's a shot that's, I guess, a clip from the movie that I absolutely loved. Is Mary starts asking Frank about does he believe in God, and it's all done in one take, and it's just silhouettes of them with the sun setting in the background, and she's kind of playing on him, and he's
like a kid,
like a little kid, just pulling his arm, and like kids do, and he gives this long monologue about how he doesn't know and nobody knows, and that's how the world is. Nobody knows that there's a God, and people have faith, and that's a good thing too, but you need to know that nobody else knows. And it's really this real honest way to speak to a kid about something that's pretty heavy, and the way it's shot, it's very beautiful. And that's how the movie is. It's really more of a performance movie, and Marc Webb knows that, so he's really showing off the performances.
Okay. When we were talking about music, I'm looking at a lot of this stuff here. The reason why Marc Webb is apparently really good with music too, though, his career has spanned a lot of music videos. For No Doubt, for Green Day, Three Doors Down,
Yellow Card.
Yeah, Yellow Card, Hillary Duff. So the guy knows his music. So he knows how
to cut that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's good. Let's go over though. How is Chris Evans out of this? Stepping outside, like I said, we've said already. We've liked him in other things.
Yeah.
How is he in this very simple role as a guy taking care of a kid?
Yeah. I think he does a great job. They point out the fact that Chris Evans is not a bad looking guy.
Right.
He's a very hunky looking dude. And there's a scene where he comes to pick up Mary, and the teachers are like, "Who's that? Is that her dad?" And the one girl's like, "Oh yeah, I've seen him around. He hangs out at this one bar every Friday night." And then Bonnie, the main character, she's like, "Well, why were you at that bar on Friday night?" She's like, "To talk to him." It's very clear. Everybody knows that Frank is a hot looking guy.
Right.
But really, he's got a lot of really tough scenes, and I think really, and it sounds silly, but him playing Steve Rogers a lot in the Captain America films and the Marvel movies really pushed him up as an actor because he has to deliver these dramatic, fatherly scenes where he talks about how you should approach religion and how he knows he loves his not actual daughter but his own blood that he's raising. Right. And I think he does a great job. And man, the guy knows how to cry.
Really?
The guy knows how to cry on cue, man. There's some scenes where he just he bawls, and I'm just like, it's okay, Captain America, you're gonna be fine. Tony will call you. Don't worry.
Right. When it comes to movies, I don't know how you are, but I am not a fan of kids. I'm not trying to be mean. It's just
I'm not a fan of kids in general. So to see them on film,
to me, the problem is anytime you see a kid in the movies, the writers always make them smarter than the adults, and it's obnoxious to me. Mary Adler is played by McKenna Grace in this one.
Yeah.
how is she? How does she do it? She portray it like a believable kid who just happens to be smart, or she play it basically as an adult who happens to be trapped in a child body.
She plays it as a kid.
Okay.
Like she's good at mathematics,
right?
And she does have a genius IQ, but she does do kid things, like the way she plays on his arm.
Right.
He says stuff to her that hurts her feelings, and then the way she deduces things, she's very much like a kid. Okay. There's a scene where he says like she does something, and he's like, "Well, can I just have a moment of my life for a second?" So she gets upset, and she asks him, and she's like, "Do you really think that I took your entire life from you?" And he has to explain, he's like, "No, we say stupid things, when we're upset." And she does deliver. You don't forget the fact that she is a kid, and that's kind of the difference. Is like Good Will Hunting. Will was a very troubled young man, and you could see her becoming this, because if she isn't in like an atmosphere with other children, and she might be a problem in the future. She might become suicidal like her mother, and it's like God, it's tough,
right?
And she's really, really good. I was impressed as an actress. Hopefully, she doesn't become a drug addict, like all children actors.
Oh, that would be horrible, right? Anybody else to stand out to you in the film?
Jenny Slate's pretty adorable as Bonnie.
Right.
I will say, as the teacher.
Okay.
The teacher with the heart of gold.
Right. She did the voice of Harley Quinn in the Lego Batman movie.
Yeah.
She
was in a critically acclaimed comedy called Obvious Child.
Oh, really?
Which I didn't get. I haven't got a chance to watch yet. I think I'll check it out eventually.
Okay.
But yeah, she was on the fast track to be like a pretty important female actress she's I think a stand-up comic, and she's I guess got a lot of attention there, and that's how she got Obvious Child and stuff like that.
She was in Zootopia.
Yep.
As Bellwether.
She's the lamb.
Yeah. Which is funny to me because I'm just looking here. Just a little side note on IMDb,
guess,
right?
Yeah.
They put it here as Zootropolis.
Zootropolis?
Yeah.
Oh, that's how it's called in Europe.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering about that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Zootropolis.
All right. So overall,
she has a distinct voice. I will say.
So overall, would you say this movie? Okay, is this a tearjerker where it's a great date movie? Or I mean, obviously this isn't a movie a guy would go see by himself, right? I mean,
well, you shouldn't see a movie by yourself anyway. Have some friends, man. Oh. This is coming from a person who saw Kong Skull Island by himself.
Well, that's an action film. That's different.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I think I think it's a good like a date movie. I think you can see this with your parents. I do think this is really good.
Is this like a family?
It's definitely a family film. Okay. There's some adult stuff. Does Frank maybe have sex with somebody? Maybe.
Right.
But yeah, there's nothing really, really terrible about this. It talks about some heavy topics, about suicide, obviously, and stuff like that. And it is emotionally manipulative. Like it's clearly trying to make you cry, and it did.
It does. Are you saying right here on podcast, right here, that you might have teared up a little bit?
Did I tear up? Did I full on cry? I did not full on cry.
Right.
I did have a girl with me, so I was like, I gotta fucking hide this shit.
Okay,
so like when stuff was getting heavy and I knew it was gonna happen, I was like, all right, I'll just put my arm around her and make sure she can't look this way.
Right.
Get a little misty eyed.
So it's that good. The emotional scenes are. Really
the
good.
emotion.
Okay. They get you.
Marc Webb knows how to play with my emotions.
Okay. Now, is this something? Because I want to see this film. Is this something that I should rush out and see now at the theater, or should I wait? It's not a big deal. Wait to see it. I think later, or should I just wait till it comes like to rent or on stream?
I don't want to because it sounds like I'm insulting, but I'm not. But I think it's totally fine watching this at home.
Okay.
Personally, because I like this film and it's an independent film release from Fox Searchlight. I think they're an independent brand.
Yeah.
Go out and see it in theaters because hell, man, theaters need the money and it's a good movie.
Do they need the money? Do theaters need the money? Really? You think
they do?
I guess they do.
We saw it. We were the only people in theaters. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, in the theater. So.
Well. Okay, but is it the theaters need the money or the movie needs the money? Because
I want to give it to the movie.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I really like promoting the films that most people wouldn't see, so I really like this. So.
Like this is probably a movie I'll end up buying just to listen to commentary and stuff like that. And I really enjoy the performances a lot. I really dug it. Marc Webb, I think he's a talented dude. I think the internet really friggin' turned on him with Amazing Spider-Man 2, and I'm like, this guy's really good, guys. And hey, as much as I love Marvel, not one of those movies has reached 500 Days of Summer for me. So.
Okay, well, there you go. Thanks, David. Now
No problem.
you've kind of pushed me. I know I wanted to see it already. Now I really want to see it. So, all right.
Honestly, when I was watching, I was like, John will really like this movie.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah. Because I think, because you're a person who likes kind of family, heartwarming stories, go underdog kind of mentalities. Yeah. You're that kind of guy. And I think you saw The Shack recently, and you've been kind of searching for that movie that'll do that for you. Yeah. And I think this is that movie, and you should totally probably check this out.
Sometimes you need a good cry, man, and I haven't found one. I've seen a couple movies that've gotten close, but I'm like...
And I mean, we haven't had another Pixar movie. Well, there's Cars 3. Do you think that's going to do it for you? No. So I can't have a good cry unless it's Pixar. Right. Or Marc Webb now. Thank you, Mark.
Right. So, all right. I'm definitely going to go see this one. Let's get the word out there then, The Gifted, because like I said, not only do I like these kind of movies with the family-oriented thing, but I also like Chris Evans, and I'd like to see him get more stuff, more work. So, you know.
Once again, there's a scene where Chris Evans gives a speech about bullying in here, and I'm like, yeah. I'm like, thank you, buddy. You nailed it.
All right.
All
right, so Gifted. See it now. See the theaters now.
Yeah, it's. I think it's
or
right now.
Like you said, you don't have to see it now. Wait till it comes out later. Right?
But definitely throw some money at this. Okay. Please do. Right now, I think it's in only select theaters, so there might be only 1 or 2 showings per theater in your area. But yeah, give it a watch.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for listening. All right. So do you? Oh, you know what I wanted to ask about this though. Do you think now you're a young guy with you're just dating. You're kind of relatively single, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying, do you think this will hit even harder to somebody who's got a family, or maybe is a single father, single mother? Yeah. Do you think it'll hit harder than that?
As I'm a man who does not have children or a wife.
Right.
I think it'll probably hit at home more if you're an older person that's in a relationship, and definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
All right,
also, this has a very interesting look at parents and children relationships, where there's moments in here where Chris Evans just like him and his mother get along when they're outside the courtroom, and you're just like, fucking work this out, you guys, and they just can't. I
like the way you explained it. I like the fact that it tackles a lot of different things, family and suicide and bullies and God, and I like the idea. I like that idea where it can tackle everything and it all fits together though. Yeah. So it's not like it's forced.
Also, it doesn't have a really long runtime. When it ends, I was like, it ended right when it needed to end. It did. I didn't feel like, oh, I wish they did more of this. I wish they explored more of that relationship. I was like, no, I got everything I wanted out of it. So it was that when you're hungry, you got that perfect meal, and you don't feel bloated afterwards. You don't feel like you regret it. You just had that perfect meal, and you're like, all right, cool. Thank you.
So no Lord of the Rings endings.
I did not feel like Lord of the Rings.
Okay. All right.
No. At the end, it didn't turn out his sister was alive the whole time, and now they have to go on an adventure, and then they hang out with Sam, and then they get on a boat, and then they go to another world.
And they hear music. Doom, 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 come with me.
None of that.
All right, then, everybody. Thanks for listening. Is there? Tell us what you thought of the movie if you'd seen it. Did you like it? Do you agree with David? Do you think David's a wuss? Is he just, oh, you're a freaking crybaby. This movie sucked. Do you think Chris Evans should go back and be Johnny Storm again?
Yeah, do you think he should be Johnny Storm? I don't know.
Or, we love to talk about old movies too. If there's a specific movie, like we said, we just talked a little bit about the Spider-Man series, the second run of the Spider-Man series. We love talking about old movies. If there's something you want to get our opinion of, we'll be happy to tell you. Be happy to tell you about old movies. So let us know. Plenty of ways to contact us. The Twitter. I am Blackie Pueblo.
And I am an Exploited Geek.
There is the Facebook at Studio Alley Cast on Facebook. Right? Is that right?
No,
that's not right.
Story Mechanics Podcast.
Oh, God. I can never get that right.
Yeah, Story Mechanics Podcast.
Yes, that's what I meant. Yeah, Story Mechanics Podcast. Story Mechanics is our parent company.
Yeah, so that's the overview.
Yeah, we well branched down from that.
Yeah.
Right. Where else can they get us, David?
Oh, they can also find us in your basement, attic,
the back alley.
The back alley. But you
have to stay up pretty late to catch us looking in your window.
You can also contact us just by electronic mail or the email, as the kidfolk call it.
The kidfolk.
The kidfolk at storymechanicscast@gmail.com.
Okay. All right. So thank you, Gifted. See it? Throw some money at it. It's worth a look. So, all right. Until next time, true believers.
Huzzah!
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something Chris Evans would say, but I'm trying not to go to. I still went to Marvel, but I didn't really want to go to Captain America because I was trying to give him credit for something else.
It's funny when he was on the stand and the lawyer for his mom was really grilling him. He kind of looked a little battered and he was like, I could do this all day. Yeah, Cap.
Yeah,
You show him.
Awesome. All right, see ya.